It's First Alert Weather Day as we are seeing a huge mess from those powerful storms. Take a look at this huge tree that fell across the street on the Upper West Side on top of cars. This is at 95th and Columbus Avenue.
The deluge of water overwhelming the drainage system at the 28th Street subway station, causing this scene. Some of the water flowing into the subway cars. Now, if you take the subway, we do have some good news. Service is back to normal. For the very latest on what's left from the storm as you head out the door, our team is live in New York and New Jersey, tracking the latest from the Weather Center as well. Let's get right over to Tony Sadiqa with your First Alert forecast. He's in our virtual studio. Tony.
Good morning, guys. Talk about a major headache. You're just trying to get home and you're encountering roads that are impassable. Your subway car is filling up. And this is what we're talking about yesterday. The fact that we would get a slow-moving system that could dump a ton of rain in a short amount of time. And that's exactly what transpired. So as for today, we're hanging on to the First Alert Weather Day for the morning flooding impacts. We still have some flood warnings this morning. I'll show that to you in a moment. First, let me show you what the radar looks like. Thankfully, it's not as active. I would certainly recommend the umbrella still because there could still be an isolated downpour at times today. Right now, the rain we're seeing is basically just south of Garden City. I would say Hempstead to Massapequa, some southern sections of Suffolk too. It's not going to cause a major issue driving on the LIE, for instance, but keep in mind that we still have some areas, particularly, for instance, in New Jersey, where we still have some high water spots there until further notice, a flood warning for sections of New Jersey. Guy Stanier's got the perfect visuals and the rundown this morning because plenty of issues remain after all the flooding last night, Guy.
That's right, Tony. The flooding problems continue in Westchester. The sawmill closed in both directions through Elmsford, Irvington, and Hawthorne. The Bronx River Parkway is closed in Yonkers, as well as Valhalla. The good news, we have the Taconic has reopened. Also, the Thruway, the Sprainbrook, the Hutch, and the Cross County, those are all doing well. So that's some good news for drivers. Taking a look at one of our traffic cams, this is the Bronx River Parkway at Palmer Road in Yonkers. We are starting to see these waters receding a little bit, so that is some good news there. In New Jersey, routes 22 and 28 are closed through Somerset and Middlesex counties due to the flooding. Route 78, the Parkway, and the Turnpike are clear and flood-free. Taking a live look at the Kosciuszko Bridge, we have a stalled truck. It is the right lane blocked, on the Brooklyn-bound span. We're seeing some slow traffic to about Main Street. Alternate side parking is in effect today citywide. Chris and Mary, back to you.
Okay, Guy, thank you. It's going to be a rough commute ahead for many drivers in our area with all of these road closures we've been telling you about. This is a look along the Sawmill River Parkway in Westchester County. You can see how it is flooded out. Elijah Westbrook is out in our Mobile 2 unit. He's live in Yonkers with more on that flooding. And Elijah has a look. Any water receding at this hour?
You know, a little bit here and there, Chris, but for full transparency, you remember we were about maybe a half a mile away from where we're standing now. We're now on Farragut Avenue, and I just want to give you another perspective of the Sawmill River Parkway, but from this road here, and you can see the water coming from this direction. Ed, my photographer, is pointing north, but as he pans down and shows you the water, I mean, you could see just the power, if you will, of it now flowing down the Sawmill River Parkway, and now we're looking south, and you can see that there are now patches of water in the roadway, and so for obvious reasons, this is why it is closed at this time. I mean, normally we're seeing cars zooming past us around this time, especially for the morning rush, but that's not the case at this time. This is all because of all that rain that we got yesterday. Here's a perspective now from Mobile 2. It's pretty to look at, but this is giving you a look of the creek that has crested beyond its borders and completely flooded this area. I mean, you can see the power in that rushing water this hour. Here's also a look right now of Odell Avenue. These are some pictures that I took probably around 3:30 this morning, giving you more of an overpass look at the flooded roadway and just how far it extends. Again, this was around 3:30 this morning. Let's go ahead and show you other parts of Westchester County. This is in Elmsford last night. Emergency crews at one point had to rescue a driver stuck in the flooding. You could see them helping the person out of their car, walking through knee-deep water. Here's a different vantage point from the Metro North tracks in Hawthorne, Hawthorne, where Commuter captured cars stuck on the parkway. It's among many roads closed in Westchester County this morning. And of course, as we were driving in Mobile 2, we came across Lamont Street taken over by floodwaters. You can see debris floating and cars parked behind Napa Auto Parts. Now, feel free to take us back out here live. We moved just a little bit closer to that creek we were showing you, and you can see how fast it's moving at this time. You can probably make out the sounds of the water through my microphone right now. But again, this is what you could run into in certain portions of Westchester County. Try to avoid travel if possible. I know that may not be the case for everyone, but if you're able to, that's your best bet. Several roads are closed off. It is not smart to try and navigate your way through these floodwaters. We did see a few vehicles out here trying to make their way through. It's not a good idea because you just don't know how deep that water truly is until you're submerged in it. That's the latest at this time. From Yonkers, I'm Elijah Westbrook. Chris and Mary, send it back to you.
Elijah, thank you. We'll check back with you in just a little bit. 6:05 right now in New Jersey. Governor Phil Murphy has declared a state of emergency.
All in the middle of all that flooding, a house exploding in North Plainfield. Christina Fan is there live. And Christina, we saw some first responders wading through the water to try to fight that fire.
That's right, Chris and Mary. This neighborhood was under several feet of water during the peak of yesterday's storm. Almost every basement along this road is flooded to some capacity. And neighbors tell us it was finally at around 8 p.m. last night when they were able to venture outside, assess the damage, when they suddenly heard a loud boom, saw the roof of this home behind us fly off and land on the front lawn. And you can see that the force of the explosion was so strong. Pieces of wood ended up halfway down the block. One of the parts still standing is the staircase leading to what used to be the second floor. Thankfully, the home was unoccupied at the time and no injuries were reported, but this call came during a very difficult and trying time for first responders rushing around the Raritan Valley during yesterday's torrential rain to try and save stranded motorists from high water. When they responded to the explosion on Parkview Avenue, the home was already fully engulfed in flames. Firefighters had to wade through ankle-deep water, dragging their hose lines through flooded streets. Here's how neighbors described what happened.
Fire happened within like a minute or 2 minutes. Everything was just, it happened just like that. 1 minute I'm outside working on my car, the sun's out. Next minute it's storming and we can't even walk down our block.
And I was just watching the water recede, and all of a sudden it was just a big fireball. The house just blew up right directly in front of me.
Utility crews with PSE&G are still here and say that this road remains an active work zone. We've seen them driving around the block with a backhoe and truck, so not sure exactly what work they will be conducting, but they have been keeping us on the opposite side of the street. The cause of the explosion is still unknown. Again, thankfully, we're told nobody was home at the time. Neighbors on the street say despite all the damage that they're facing in their basements, they're just relieved that their homes, of course, are still standing, and this family appears to be okay. Reporting live from North Plainfield, New Jersey, Christina Fan, CBS News, New York.
Christina, thank you. 6:08 right now. Monday was a mess for subway riders at several stations, including the 28th Street station in Chelsea, with water gushing onto platforms during the height of the storms. The flooding led to delays with the A, B, C, D, R, and F lines all impacted. There was also flooding at 34th Street Penn Station, one of the busiest stops in the city. Water was pooled on platforms as riders carefully maneuvered through it. MTA crews spent the night cleaning up. So far, there's no word of any residual subway flooding this morning.
And if you captured weather video or photos, you can share them with us. Scan the QR code on your screen, and we may show those images, if you don't mind, on our air.